100 years later, we are still here fighting for voting rights and serving the underserved.
100 years ago, white women earned the right to vote as black women stood by their sides. But those black suffragettes would not go on to cast their own ballots until many decades later. News 5's Amanda Van Allen talks to a well-known black organization about its role in that movement.
They are always out in the community.
We stand for three things: scholarship, service, and sisterhood.
This time, the Greater Cleveland chapter of Delta Sigma Theta is helping folks fill out the census, get free COVID tests, and register to vote. 100 years ago, it was fighting for the right to vote.
I am so very proud that Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated had a part in that women's suffrage parade.
Ruth Price Rollins, the Cleveland chapter's president, says Delta's founders marched with white women demanding their right to vote in the women's suffrage parade of 1913 in Washington, D.C., although they were forced to the back of the march.
They were spat upon, that kind of thing, but determined that they were going to have a voice in the right for black women to vote.
According to Case Western Reserve University history professor Einar Rabinovich-Fox, there was a strategic reason for the racism.
White suffragists wanted to get the support from men in the South, and they knew that they need to use racist arguments for that.
She says in Cleveland, the suffrage movement was less segregated, but black women all over the country started breaking away.
Black women fought for suffrage. Even if they were barred or not welcomed from the mainstream movement, they did form their own organization, their own movement.
In 1920, the 19th Amendment was passed, allowing women the right to vote. Although it would take the passing of the Voting Rights Act nearly a half century later for black women to get that same right.
The organization will bring to our sisterhood black women in politics.
Today, the Deltas are still standing up for black women with a new initiative called D4 Women in Action.
Advocating and educating on policy priorities, developing the Chisholm Jordan Institute to train black women to run for office.
They are hoping more Kamala Harrises take on leadership roles. And although Senator Harris is an Alpha Kappa Alpha and not a Delta, Price Rollins says sorority sisters across the country are beaming with pride.
We're very proud that someone of color is running for vice president.
Amanda Van Allen, News 5.